I didn't expect to see you back here so soon.
Hey, yeah, well, I'm here. Good to go.
Did you have a fight with your wife?
Why would you ask that?
Well, Siobhan was convinced that Elizabeth tried to kill her in the OR. I mean, now she has to watch you two bonding over Aiden, a baby that turns out to be yours.
Guess that's what I get for having a detective for a boss.
Lucky, you're supposed to be on an indefinite leave. Okay, you have a wife recovering from surgery. A baby you just found out about with your ex, not to mention what happened with your father.
Siobhan's further along in recovery than anyone could have expected. I mean, she practically kicked me out of the house.
And told you to get back to work.
But this is what I need, okay? I need to do something constructive instead of sitting around staring at the walls, thinking about all the crap that's gone down and everything that I've lost. Look, I handed off all my cases when I put in for the leave, so I need an assignment. What have you got there?
It's a case we're just starting to put together. It might have links to organized crime.
Perfect. Put me on it.
I can't do that.
I'm telling you, I'm up for whatever assignment you give me.
You're still dealing with Jake's death and your father's part in it.
Exactly. I'm dealing with it. I'm going to be dealing with it for a long time.
Look, your family home just burned to the ground, and your father's the prime suspect. It's a lot for one person to carry.
I'm not going to let my personal life compromise my work.
On any other case, I'd agree. But this is different.
How?
You have a history of substance abuse.
Yeah? What does it have to do with the case?
Large quantities of prescription drugs have gone missing from the hospital. The type of drug that were your drug of choice.
Okay. So you say large quantities?
Yeah. Pallets of the stuff. Billions of pills.
No, there's got to be more than one person on the inside then.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right, so we start by looking at every point in the delivery chain. I get a list of the HG staff, anyone who might have access.
Lucky.
Look, I'm no good as a cop if I need special handling. I'm fine. I can do this. Just give me a chance.
I want to give the case to Dante.
Have you even heard from him? Do you have any idea when he's going to be back? I mean, Mac, we need to move on this. And where are those drugs going? We already know that there's a bunch of high school kids hooked. It's even finding its way in the grade schools. And I know the damage that this stuff does. That motivates me to shut down the operation. Thank you.
Lucky, on one condition. You keep me involved every step of the way, all right? I don't want either one of us to regret this.
Hi.
Hey. Thanks for meeting up with me. This is something I wanted to do face to face.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Last thing I want to do is put you in an uncomfortable position.
Well, I'm happy to help you.
I appreciate that, but you should probably hear what it is
No,
first.
I know that Siobhan is threatening to resurrect the malpractice suit if you don't stay with her. And I am more than happy to defend myself in court if it means that you can get out of your marriage.
Actually, Siobhan and I are in a pretty good place right now. I mean, she's recovering from the surgery. She's getting better every day, and she's not going to bring back the malpractice suit.
Oh, okay. Well, that part's good.
Yeah, it is. And I'm back at work. That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about, a case that I'm working on.
Why did you want to talk to me about it?
Because I know that you're someone I can trust. I'm investigating a prescription drug ring. A whole lot of the stuff is being systematically stolen from the hospital, and I wanted to know if there's anything you've seen or heard that might help.
Lucky,
I understand the risks, so if you don't want to be involved...
I don't think you should be involved. Are you that determined to self-destruct and wind up like your dad? Feel free to tell me if I'm out of line, but I wouldn't be much of a friend if I didn't remind you what prescription drugs did to your life.
Yeah, Mac had the same concern. He didn't want to put me on the case at first, but he did.
I don't understand why he did. And what about Siobhan? Is she really okay with this?
Well, I haven't talked to her about it yet, but she's gonna be fine. I guess I should have talked to you about it first. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, honestly, you should have talked to her about it first.
Well, I mean, you're the one that lived through it. You're the one that suffered when drugs took over my life. I became a completely different person. I lost control.
Lucky, I can't keep you clean and sober.
I know that. I'm doing everything I can Okay, I'm working the program, I'm going to the meetings, I'm on solid ground.
You burned down a house, your dad's not here, your brother's not here.
That's exactly why I need to do this. I need to do something constructive, something that I understand, something that makes sense to me.
Okay, I get it. I can't tell you how many times I told myself that if I could just go back to work and keep going, that I would be fine. And even when I started to mess up, I convinced everybody that I was handling it, and it almost cost Siobhan her life.
You're right, okay. I mean, I need to be careful.
My big mistake was that I ignored the signs. So please, if you start to feel overwhelmed, just walk away.
Of course. I will.
You will?
Yes.
Okay. This was really easy.
I know it sounds like I'm tempting fate. But I just need to do this, Elizabeth. I don't even know all the reasons.
Okay, just promise me you'll come to me if you need me.
Yeah, I promise.
Well, I'm glad somebody's gonna benefit from my screw-ups.
Yeah. Listen, if you remember anything at the hospital, if anything comes back to you, you could let me know. It would really help with the case.
Yes, I will.
'Cause, you know, even the smallest things can end up being really important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I've been reinstated first, and then I will be happy to help you.
All right. Thank you.
Where's Mac?
Hey, he's at a power lunch with the mayor. Can I help you?
I'd like to file a complaint.
Okay. Go for it.
2 resident crime families in this city, people shooting at each other, blowing things up on a regular basis, and your officers have nothing better to do than ticket a guy for loitering outside of a bakery?
Just tell me the complaint, Maxie.
Spinelli isn't Spinelli. I mean, after he was shot, he woke up convinced he was Jackal P.I. Tough guy from the mean streets. You know, Matt says it's a defense mechanism that'll eventually pass if we can keep him alive long enough.
Spinelli actually thinks he's the character from his book?
He doesn't know how to use a computer. He's not talking like Spinelli, he's not acting like Spinelli, he's not kissing like... Anyway, Jason has him convinced that this bakery on First is a hotbed for criminal activity, so he's got Spinelli staking it out just to keep him out of trouble. Except one of your overzealous meatheads ticketed him for loitering.
I'll pass on the message.
Thank you. Maybe you could also convince this person to, I don't know, work with Jackal P.I. so they can convince him he's actually really a part of big crime.
That's not a good idea. Besides, I just started work today. Mac put me on a case. I gotta get over to the hospital and start interviewing people.
Like Elizabeth?
I'm married, Maxie.
I know. You're also too nice of a guy to dump Siobhan right after she's had surgery. But I'm sure it's clear to even her that you and Elizabeth are destined to be together.
So you're making a really good recovery, which makes me really happy because it makes me look very good.
So it's safe for me to go back to normal activity?
Sex, yes. Bungee jumping, no. And make sure you call the nurse and reschedule an appointment for 2 weeks, okay?
Thanks. What are you doing here? Aren't you suspended?
The chief of staff asked me to come back.
Wasn't very smart.
Hey,
Hey, I'd like to think you're here to welcome me back, but something tells me that's not happening.
I should have protected you better when I was chief of staff. I let you come back to work too soon, and it wound up damaging your career.
Which is why I would never risk doing that again.
That's exactly what you're doing, Lizzie. Siobhan, good night. If you make one more mistake, you could lose your license.
I'm working the desk.
You shouldn't be working at all. I'm asking you as your brother and as someone who doesn't want to see you hurt anymore, please, please come home.
hey, it's Lucky Spencer. Wasn't sure if this number would still be good. Yeah, it has been a while. Listen, I might be in the market for something. Things have been rough lately. Really rough. And, you and Fix, you always knew what I needed to smooth things over. Actually, I'm gonna need to call you back. Is that all right? Okay, thanks.
I just came from the hospital. Guess who was there, working at the desk as if nothing had ever happened?
Elizabeth is back at work?
It's clear that she doesn't give a damn about nearly killing me, and neither does anyone else over there. So be honest with me. Larry filed a malpractice suit. Am I going to lose you?